All right, everyone. We've gotten a little discussion going on GroupMe about the potential issues you may run across with clients with the different amount of advances that they can receive with their tax refund, and how can we handle some of those challenges. So I just wanted to talk briefly. I'm sorry I'm driving, but I wanted to talk while it was still fresh in my head, something I'd actually been thinking about and Cletus and I have been discussing. And that's client retention. So what I want everyone to do this year, I know that tax season comes really fast and it goes really fast. But I think something that we need to improve on is our client retention. And that is keeping our clients from year to year. I know a lot of times we're trying to just attract new clients and clients come and go. But we want to think of our clients as people that we want to keep on a yearly basis. So for an example, most of us go to the same doctor, and we've gone to the same doctor for a number of years. The only reason why we normally change a doctor is that there's something that the doctor has done, or something happens with our insurance, something of that nature. But for the most part, when you find a really good doctor, you try to stick with them. Why do you do that? Number one, the doctor knows your history. The doctor knows all the things that's been happening with you medically. You've developed a rapport with that doctor. You've developed rapport with the nurses. You know, your children may go there. They may know your children. So there has been rapport that's been developed, and so you just stick with that doctor. And we want to think of that when we're dealing with our tax clients. I know sometimes we have clients and they'll come get a quote and they may go with someone else. But if we can offer our clients exceptional customer service, and what do I mean by customer service? We talked about this a little bit in training. Something that we really need to improve on is when we have a client and we do their taxes, if that's the only touch that they get from us in a whole year, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go to another client, or they're going to go to another tax preparer next year. The way you keep your client is by having continual communication with them, and that's something that we're working on in the office, but you can do that as well. So when you're doing their tax return, that's one touch. You want to have at least 6 to 8 touches in a year's time. That way they're fresh. When your client is thinking about whatever, you're fresh in their mind. You're able to reach out to them, communicate with them throughout the year. There may be changes that happens that affects their tax situation. So you're just not seeing them once a year and that's it. Now that's not going to happen for every client, of course, because you're going to have clients that come and go. I understand that. But there are things and touches that we can do throughout the year to retain the clients that we have. So what you don't want to do, and we talked about this in training as well, you don't want to have to keep building your client base every year. So for an example, at my other job, and I work in the financial and insurance industry, we do touches throughout the year. So we may send out, happy birthdays. We may have letters that we send out, just information about different things. Those are just a couple of things we do. We may invite them to attend certain seminars or something that we have going on. So in a matter of a year's time, we have tried to contact our clients 6 to 8 times. And like I said, that's something that we are working on in-house to try to develop a client relationship management software. We're going to try to find one where we can actually do that and it's automated. But we really, really need your help with that. We really need your assistance in working to stay in contact with your clients. So again, let me just repeat. We want to keep client retention. That means that we want to have more than one touch. If this is your first time talking to your tax client since last January, then you have to work on that, because even if it's, hey, thank you for letting me do your taxes next year, is there something I can do for you this year? Or sending a thank you card, like I said. Those things will really, really attract those clients for next year. When you're dealing with the clients, like I said, I know that there are a lot of different things out here. Nikki just mentioned that there is, she talked to a potential client and they're saying that someone was offering them $1,500 cash advance, but we don't have the $1,500 cash advance. So instead of focusing on the $1,500 cash advance, or maybe it's a $1,200 cash advance, what you may want to do is steer the conversation to our incentives, like we have to double your refund this year. So every person that gets their taxes done with us can have a chance to double their refund. Again, we have the $50 referrals. there's a lot of different incentives I think that Cletus has sent out to you all. So we can use those things to kind of, I don't want to use the word combat, but those are things that we can do to improve how we handle responses to clients. So if everybody would just take a minute and go over the incentives, make sure you understand what the incentives are. Make sure you understand how to sell your product. Make sure you understand your client. Make sure you have in your mind, how am I going to retain this client for next year? And we're going to talk about this a little more on the GroupMe, but I just wanted to share my thoughts with you all, really, really quick, and we're going to go from there. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.